Get it. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Welcome back, everybody. I appreciate you guys for tuning in as you always do. This time, as always, all my guests are special and special to me. I like to tell their stories. They're very important to me, and I feel that they're important to the worlds and the worlds that we come from. But I want to take one small second to really be in the moment and say this person that I'm talking to today is very inspirational,
Thank you.
very motivational, very importantly, and purpose driven. I'm very big on purpose. The older I get, the more I'm like, I want to be around people and talk to people and be an encompassing of people who are actually making a change, not only for themselves, but making a change for those around them and then spreading that. So today, I am very, very fulfilled and excited to talk to Mrs. Ala Adib.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Ala is from Toronto. So I just learned that today, guys. It's not Toronto.
Yep.
It's Toronto.
Toronto.
Ah, okay. How are you doing today, Ala?
I'm doing good. Honestly, I'm happy to be here.
First of all, I said Mrs. Miss.
Miss.
Yeah. I just added that whole title on you. So, yeah. I'm sorry, but yeah, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Honestly, just grateful to be here. Grateful to get opportunities like this and connecting with you is something that I've been wanting to do. So
Don't make me blush this early.
No, seriously, like the fact that you take such great content and I'm able to share my story with someone I trust and someone I know that's gonna make sure I feel good and make sure my story is being shared in like the best way possible. I'm feeling good.
That brings me I have these things where I call them top tier compliments.
Yeah.
That's like a top tier compliment. It's like, okay, you dress nice, your hair is nice, you're pretty.
Yeah.
But like something that's a compliment that goes to your actual work or your thought process or how you actually move, that's a top tier compliment to me.
No,
So
seriously, like I was even telling my peoples about it and I was like, his content is like, it's storytelling. And that's what I like. Is there's not pictures, you're telling a story.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you very much for saying that. Enough about me. So we're going to get into your background. Now, growing up in Toronto, how was your lifestyle growing up? What did you do? Your inspirations?
I grew up in a household with like 7 people. So I
Wow.
was one of the youngest of 7, a single parent household. My dad lived in Ohio, so I would come back and forth through Ohio, come see him. But just like a regular single mom household,
So your dad was born in Ohio?
no, he was born in Somalia. So he was born in Africa.
Oh, okay.
We came to Canada, and then when my parents separated, my dad moved to Ohio.
Okay.
So I would come here from like 8. I would come and visit, like stay for the summers and stuff, and then I'd go back to Canada. So definitely like a different, like it was kind of like a culture shock.
Why Ohio? Why did he land in Ohio?
All the Somali people are here.
Ah, okay. There's a big community.
There's a big community out here.
That's cool. Now, mom.
Mom worked in the community.
Okay.
She had a nonprofit growing up, and
That's ironic.
I know, but you know, it's so funny because like when your mom tells you to do something when you're younger, you don't do it. You know, like you're like, Mom, stop it. So my mom had a nonprofit, and I was always like, you know, I'm tired. I don't want to come to this event. I don't want to come here. And then like even when it came to school, my mom went to school for marketing, and I went to school for marketing. But she told me to do it, and I didn't listen till I started Googling top 10 degrees that are going to make the most money in the next 10 years.
It was clutch for you.
It was clutch for me, but
Yeah.
it was something that like I learned a lot from my mom, and even the work that I'm doing now, everyone's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, her mom used to do that."
Yeah, I feel like nonprofits are very much personal, fulfilling like journeys for people versus like you going somewhere to get some money
Yeah.
or because a nonprofit is a business. You're still building it,
Yeah.
but I guess it is a little bit more intentional on the intentional side of like what you really want to do. Because I feel like if you're putting your time and effort into something that's not generating
Funds,
yeah, you're like this is way more. This is bigger than money.
100%. Like my mom was the one that went on the bus when like someone had court and their mom couldn't speak English. My mom's going on the bus with them. When someone gets suspended from school, my mom's going to go speak for them. Like when every time I got in trouble, my mom would go speak to them and then they would come apologize to me.
Wow.
Like she advocated for people that didn't really have a voice, and that's someone that came from back home, didn't have a voice, came to a new country and kind of just like learned her rights.
Mm. Dang, yeah. So mom was on it early.
Yeah, mom was on it early and I wasn't thinking about it till this conversation right now. Like I didn't even know I was gonna bring it up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But and it's crazy that we kind of see our parents. We come into this world seeing our parents as parents. We don't see them as people or like they had an entire life before us. They've seen a lot before we've seen it. So
Yeah.
we go through these adolescent stages of like, oh, I know about this. I know about that. I know. And they like, girl, boy, please.
Yeah,
I done did what you did 3 times, 4 times over and bumped my
Literally.
head.
Literally.
And it's like like you just said earlier, you listen and be like, I'll get to it. But it's like the closest people to you, you never really hear until like a year later.
Inside noise.
Yep. A year later, somebody tell you something. You go back to your mom and be like, Mom, you know what I want to do. People like, I've been telling you to do this all your life. But yeah, man, that's cool. I love hearing like the stories of parents because it's very much a telling sign of like how you transpire and kind of gauge yourself into what you want to do and all that. So I'm assuming that your parents were a big inspiration for you.
Yeah, definitely. Like just seeing everything like they've been through, seeing what my mom's been through, it kind of pushed me. My mom had 7 kids in a country where, she was a foreigner too. And thank God
Yeah, that's scary. That's scary. That's yeah, you gotta almost be a nomad to go in that land and trust who you're with to make sure that your babies are safe and everything like that. That's cool. So the main reason why I have Ala on this show is she has an amazing story. Of course, y'all heard just the tip of the iceberg, but she has a very touching story, a very important story, and don't take it anyway when I say this, but unfortunately, it's out of tragedy because I feel like the most times something good happens is usually when the worst thing happens
100%.
and it like pivots you or pivots whoever's around you or a community or a state or anything. Something bad happens at first and then, what is it? The Phoenix from the ashes type of deal. So what moved me with Ala's story is they're very good. You and your team are very good at showing what your organization does. And now this organization is Smile for Sache.
Yes.
Smile for Sache. And they do a great job at content. They show the importance of who they're with, why they're with them, why it's important to do what you're doing with them. We're gonna get to you being somewhat of an NBA and WNBA player too as well, because she be balling. But
I try.
yeah. But so when it came to that, I was very moved at seeing how day in and day out driven you were first. I mean, it's nice to see a team around you, but you're very day in and day out. Because I'm like, once in a while, people would show cool stuff like, oh, that was dope. Da, da. But I'm like, every day, this girl is like showing the kids something, doing this, doing that, going here, showing that you're providing not just in a monetary way, but physically, with your time, with your efforts, and with your energy. And it was like almost, it's daily. And I'm like, bro, I know how much effort that, I can only imagine how much effort that would take.
No, it is a lot.
And I'm like, bro, she does this day in and day out. And then I see your team, like the people around you, they be on the same thing. I'm like, see, and she's surrounded by, good people. So I want to tell the story of Smile for Sache, but I don't know the full details. So I want you to explain to me and the people, how exactly did the organization come about? Why did it start?
Okay.
And yeah.
How did it come up? I'll talk about why it started first.
Yes.
So in 2020, my younger brother was murdered due to gun violence, and that's a big issue in Toronto. Like we have like a big gun violence issue, and it's crazy because most people think about when something like that happens to you, the police are going to knock on your door and they're going to come and tell you the story. But mine was more like, I woke up in the morning, I saw the news, I saw a white BMW got shot, and I called my little brother. He didn't pick up the phone.
Whoa. See, this is the part I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm trying not to jump in. Oh, all right, continue. I'm sorry. I'm going to ask after.
So I see a white BMW got shot. One person's dead, one person's in jail, one person's got taken by custody. So I immediately, coming from Toronto, there's such a big gun violence like issue. So immediately I called him, didn't pick up the phone, and I just went to the location. Found out where it was, just drove there. I remember on my drive there, I was like, I hope like this is not it. So I get there, I'm asking questions. I just want to know if it's a 4-door or a 2-door. I want to know what kind of car it is.
Was it in the area of
It
where
was
you?
like 15 minutes or like 10 minutes from my house, not too far.
Okay.
So I pull up there and I'm asking like who's in the car. It's taken a while. And then when I found out it was my brother, I had to go home and tell my mom like she lost her youngest son. So it's not the typical way that you would hear about something like this. It's just from where I'm from, what happens over there. You just need to be on high guard, high alert, and just like hyper aware of situations.
Yeah. Finding out something like that through a television, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
And
crazy.
it's going off a whim. Like I saw it, but how much white BMWs are in the city?
And that's what I was about to ask. Yeah. Did he have like a specific?
No.
No. You just had a feeling.
I just was like, not in his room, white BMW.
Now, did he move? How old was he? I'm sorry.
His birthday was on June 6th and he died on June 12th, 6 days after his birthday. So he just turned 21.
My birthday is June 12th. That's crazy. That's crazy. How old was he?
He just turned 21. He went to Toronto Metropolitan. It was called Ryerson before. So he went to University downtown. He worked at the airport, TSA, and
So he wasn't in the mix of some bull. He hardworking brother.
regular kid, worked too much. Like he was working like he has 7 kids and a mortgage.
That's crazy.
So
Now, was this I don't know if I skipped. Was it a robbery?
no, it was kind of wrong place, wrong time. It's something else I want to really like touch on. I feel like when we're younger, when you're 20, 21, you hang out with anybody.
Fact.
And when
You're still finding your way.
you're still finding your way. So when you grew up with people in a neighborhood, you're gonna hang out with them. But when you get older, you realize, oh, I shouldn't hang out with those people. So he didn't get a chance to like not hang out with people. He hosted a barbecue that day, and I guess he saw everybody, and that was kind of like seen a bunch of people. And then later on that night, they were at a hotel. He got it for one of these boys, and at the end of the night, he's like, I'm going home. Like he brought his PS4, his VR
Oculus?
set.
Yeah, okay,
Like they were just gaming.
Yeah, he was just out to kick it.
Yeah, out to kick it. Then he ends up just walking to his car, and literally 2 people came and shot up his car like over 27 times. And this is someone like you don't know that you're that violent and that like,
Did they think it was somebody else?
They thought it was somebody else, but it's like sometimes you gotta know. Like if you're ready to let off 27 clips, know who you're
You
shooting.
should know.
You should know.
Yeah.
So also like the culture, like most people, like, you know, where we come from, people smoking on this person, smoking on that person. It wasn't like that when I lost my brother, because people were like, oh,
Shocked because they like this like you said, people know who in the streets too. Like they know we can get a good vibe of like, oh nah, this ain't you, or this is you.
yeah.
So yeah, somebody like that catching the tail end of something so ridiculous. Yeah, I know that's shocking, not to only you.
It's to most people,
community.
you know, it was so shocking. Like, I guess my community was so shocked by this that I made a GoFundMe right after, but I only made the GoFundMe because the police asked why he had $200 in his pocket. So when they asked why he had $200
Like that
in his
was a lot of
pocket,
money or something?
I was like, you need that to get your car towed.
Yeah, like
You know, like
200. I can see if he had 2,000 cash, then it's a little. But even then, it's like, bro, get out my business.
yeah. So
That's crazy though.
I was like, I'm gonna come out with a GoFundMe so that I don't have to tell my story on the news. I could tell my own story. And in 3 days, we raised $100,000, over $100,000 in 3 days.
That's crazy.
So that's even shocking itself, because people were so like taken back by it. They're like, how can we support? You know? So
That's
yeah.
crazy. That just shows too how
His
interconnected. You're fine, brother. Come on. That shows how interconnected people are. Because we kind of get, unfortunately, we're kind of in this mindset that everybody is separated, but at the same time, we're still tied by something, by a feeling, by a story. And yeah, so when it comes to a brunt or a shock like that, I'm pretty sure it hits somebody else in their household the same way.
100%.
Like
we all
this could be my little brother, or this could be my cousin, or my boyfriend, my husband. Yeah, because it ain't like, once again, he was just going to his car.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, he's not even doing nothing crazy.
literally.
That's crazy. Yeah, see, I didn't know the full
That's the story.
details.
I don't really tell too many people that, but I feel like this is a platform where I want to share my story.
Yeah, I
know?
appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate you. That's unfortunate. That's the unfortunate part. The fortunate part.
Better.
Yeah. The fortunate part is that Smile for Sache was birthed. Now, it would be for me personally, not necessarily the cameras.
Yeah.
Because I know people go through a grieving stage in a multitude of different ways. But I want to skip past that with you.
Yeah.
That'll be our own conversation or something.
Yeah.
But on the tail end of that, what drove you or motivated you to like, all right, now I want to officially make this a nonprofit. I want to do these things within the community. And what keeps you going doing that?
I think starting it was unintentional. Like I had no intention for it to grow the way it grew. And I think that's how like great things happen.
Facts.
You know, like my intention was very simple: to hand out food downtown to less fortunate people. Like with that money my mom got for the GoFundMe, we built a school in Africa. And then aside from that, I was in Toronto and I'm like, let's make care packages and go downtown and just give them out. You know, people, they didn't really see the vision. They're kind of like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, anything just to do something good, you know, like anything to just make someone happy a little bit, or just do something for someone. Because in our religion, in Islam, you're supposed to do, it's called sadaqah jariyah. So that's charity, ongoing charity. So I was like, if my brother died at 21, I need to figure out a way to continue giving him some type of charity, because people leave legacies for people. You see downtown, we see trees and buildings named after people, but it's not something we're really thinking about anymore, you know? So I was like, what can I do? You know? So it started off really small. We started off just doing those things. And then I always thought in the back of my head, I'm like, I had to tell my mom that her youngest son passed away. So we did a mother's retreat. So we brought moms where their sons.
Wait a minute, it's called a what?
A mother's retreat.
Oh, mother's retreat.
Mother's retreat.
Okay.
So we brought moms where their sons passed away from gun violence up north. And like earlier, before our talk, the psychotherapist called me.
Yeah. I remember you was just on the phone.
And I brought to the mother's retreat. And that was just me thinking about, imagine all these ladies that have been through stuff. that have never been to a cottage, that have never talked to a therapist, that have never had a personal chef, never got their own room and like saunas and all these things that they don't have access to. I said, why not do it? You know? So I used my own resources. It was someone that like my mom knew from back in the day that had like a whole facility, a retreat. We found some money, got a bus, brought them out there and just gave them like the best week ever.
I want to touch on, that's amazing. But these are the little gems that I be finding in when people speak like that and passionate about that.
Yeah.
There's a fire that's usually within people that says, why not? Because a lot of people say, this is why not. You feel me? So they'll try to find all the reasons first of like, oh, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work because of this. This ain't gonna work because of that. And then you got the people like, no, it is gonna work because of this. It is gonna work because of that. And those people, they usually got that fire, and it's very internal. Like, people can turn you up, people can hype you up, but at the end of the day, you're going home by yourself.
100%.
You're laying you're going to sleep. You're thinking about the day that you had by yourself and how your day is going to go tomorrow. So when you go home and schedule bookings, schedule tickets, schedule this, schedule that, schedule something driving you to do that, all those little micro steps to get this big. And then after a while, you just kind of get addicted to like, I love this turnout, I want to do it again. And then you get used to those micro steps. And now they don't bother you anymore. So that's why it's so important to like tell youth, like say if they're going on a solo, I want to take my first solo trip. It's the buying a plane ticket. It's the scheduling this. That's what scares them.
Yeah, but they don't know the experience itself.
They know that will take them a certain place mentally, physically, emotionally, and stabilize whatever that they're trying to find for themselves. That's why it's so important to even talk about those small details. Like, yeah, these things might be annoying, but they got to get done.
100%.
It's like paperwork. To make things move, you got to do the small, little, minute, annoying stuff.
I think people don't want that. People want instant gratification.
Grandiose.
You know, people want their flowers without working for anything. And I think me coming from somewhere where I've only heard no. You know, I've only heard no. I've only even heard like when my bro passed away, like, it's okay, like stuff happens, like, you know, like move on type shit. And it's not move on. Like,
yeah, I don't want to hear that.
I don't want to hear that. I want to figure out how I can, right away when his school called me, I was like, yo, how can I build a building? Like, how can I name a building after him? So I went and got a scholarship under his name. I was like, now is a time where I'm not taking no for an answer. And I remember someone came up to me, they're like, why do you feel so confident asking us for stuff? And I said, because if you say yes or no, I don't care. I don't lose sleep, I don't lose money, and you're not doing it for me. I'm doing it for the 30 kids behind me, you know? So it's crazy because people do circle the block.
You got me fired up.
No, I swear to God. This is real life though.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. I like everything you just said right there. Dooley, do me one favor. See if this is still rolling. I don't mind.
No, it's okay.
You feel me? Even live. But yeah, so when it comes to that, I very much, is it still rolling? Good. Hit that record button and then hit it one more time. Yep. So I can get just hit record. Yep, stop it and then start it again.
Are we doing good, Tucker?
Perfect. All right. Yeah, guys, y'all know how I get down. I do stuff live. People get so, I feel like this is a nerd side for me. I feel like people get too wrapped up in production side of like their appearance and this and how they're trying to come off. I'm like, bro, who cares, bro?
I literally just thought about, before I did that, I'm like, I don't care right now.
Yeah, bro, like that's not the point of these things. That's why, you know, even when it comes to podcasts nowadays, and this is just a segment, we ain't gonna talk about this, but when it comes to podcasts nowadays, you can feel it's
rehearsed.
It's very rehearsed. It's not genuine. Some people are trying to like force their opinions and their thoughts.
Those are also people with like a grade 10 education.
Bruh, there we go. Now you're talking that talk. That's a fact.
Sorry, but like,
And don't do any internal work.
yeah, you can't be that opinionated without actually like living a life, you know?
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah, but
You can talk.
besides all that, come on, you're fun. But besides all that, yes. So when it comes to those small, minute details of getting things done, I know how much footwork that is, and it's taken me. I used to be. I feel like a lot of us are when we're younger, very much procrastinators.
Yes.
I was always a heavy procrastinator, but the reason why I was is because when it was crunch time, I would still get the things done that I needed to get done, and I relied on that.
Yeah.
Like,
That
all right,
fire.
yeah, and which is good, but at the same time,
Work is not
yeah,
impeccable.
exactly.
It could be better.
There we go.
Yeah.
And you'll never really get any. That's why I don't rush anymore. Even like when we setting this up, I'm like, we're gonna take our time.
Yeah.
We're gonna come down to sea level again.
Yes.
We're gonna find our footing and then we're gonna start.
But that's more natural. That's more like it makes it feel more organic.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And you can just center yourself, find your thoughts, find your pace.
Yeah.
Pace is a big deal. Like, speaking of pace, I said at the beginning, you're doing these things day in and day out.
I think I'm on go mode because I'm not comfortable. Not to say that I'm ever going to be comfortable, but I'm in a position where I'm always having to ask people for stuff, you know? And till I'm in a position where I could just help people and give back and do the things I want to do, I have to grind. I have to get up early. I go to the library. I'm sitting with people that do PhDs and they're studying, and that's my drive. You know, I sit there and I sit. No one knows. All summer, I spend my whole summer in the library.
That's the footwork that people just don't see.
It's like, oh, you live such a great life. I'm like,
Yeah. Little do you know.
Little do you know the people punking me. Little do you know people sizing me up when I walk into a room. You know?
That and I don't know how Toronto is. You see how that flowed off? Very nice. I'm getting used to it. I don't know what the how the culture is, or like colorism, racism and stuff is. Is there a big paradigm shift like it is? I mean, people can it bugs me when people are like, oh, I don't see color. I'm like, listen, bro, we're at where we're at. Yeah. It is what it is. Is that heavy in
what it is? America's more like a in your face racism. Canada's more like we won't show you that you're not included. We're just gonna keep on like.
Is it a push out or just not letting you in? Not
letting you in. And the only people that are gonna be let in my opinion, is people that are not gonna bring their whole community with them. Like, I feel like it's harder for me because
it's very selfish.
I feel like there's so many people I'm gonna bring with me. And there's other people that are in these positions that are like, I'm the only one here. I don't want to mess up. I don't want to get anyone in trouble. So I'm just going to do my job. I'm more of like, hey, how can we put these pieces together? How can we fit this person in? How can we do better? How can we do more? Like,
that might be kind of,
an international
no, I was going to not intimidating for those who don't have that mentality but are in. Because if you're the one who's breaking down the doors for others, they might be like, you get these others in and they're like, you're gonna push me out because I'm selfish.
100%. I feel like the intimidation is at an all-time high because I'm a very like happy, loving person, but I still feel like people are intimidated by
because
my confidence. Of that. And it's like, it's not my fault. Like, I didn't really grow up with my dad like that, but I'm gonna walk into any single building like my dad owns it. Because guess what? None of you guys own it. We're all the same.
Facts. Yeah. And you was explaining to me earlier about just like a lot of gatekeeping and
it's like a
people in
it's like a cap, you know, like you can only reach a cap. I feel like in America it's more of like the growth is gonna keep on going. We kind of got a cap. That's why everyone in Canada leaves and goes to America. When you really think about the people that made it, they're not there still.
Okay. I have yet to be the Canada guy, so that's definitely on my.
He's coming soon.
That's definitely on my list. Now I want to get into a little bit of what were some of your favorite collaborations, favorite your mix up within your organization. I seen you on the panel speaking. Was it with like Congress or what was that? The council?
I got invited to the Intergovernmental Roundtable with the City of Toronto.
Okay.
And I was like, one of the two youngest people in the room.
Talk that talk.
And I was like, finally.
Yeah.
We get escorted into the room and I was like, purr.
Yeah.
That's my seat.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, it's because I'm doing the real work, you know? And at one point, people have to understand that you need to support these people because you don't want them to burn out. You don't want them to feel unappreciated. So I'm glad there's people in positions. It's like people like us that are working these positions that see me and they're like, yo, I need to put you on, you know? And then sometimes it's people in those positions that are like, ooh, I need to cut your grass. So when I went to that,
there's literally levels
there's
to
literally
it.
levels. So I remember going to that table and it was like a gun violence prevention because we have a lot of stuff going on in the city and a lot of people are saying they're doing the work and I've done a lot of work with no resources, you know? So I was glad that I was able to put myself out there and speak and kind of like showcase what the work that we're doing and have people that are like ministers and people in the government that turned around. Like I remember saying, I was like, hey, I have a mother's retreat where I want to bring the moms up north and show them something. And I have like young boys that I want to show them something too, but we don't get funded because when you look at it, they're like, oh, you guys are leaving the city of Toronto, so we're not going to fund you because you're leaving the district. But when you really think about it, you should be saying, oh, if we take these people out into a different environment, it could help their mental health. So I remember I said that, one of the ministers turned around and was like, oh.
Yeah. She knows what she's talking about. Yeah. A click for them. It's crazy that, like you just said, coming from no resources, but then down the line, you don't realize that you become a resource.
Oh, I'm the resource. I was saying with my sister today, and she was telling me, she's like, what did you do before? I'm like, oh, I remember I was like working for like the government, for one of like the MPs, which is like our senator type thing. And she's like, oh my God, you gotta keep that.
Yeah.
I short
Thinking that was the end all be all.
text message. I said, no, I don't. She said, it's up now. I'm sorry, but like, I want to value myself and I want to be super intentional with the work I'm doing. Like the other day, someone messaged me and they were like, hey, she threw a big name out there at a big organization and she's like, hey, can you help us with this? Do you want to support us with this event that's happening? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be more intentional with what I'm doing now. So I was like, hey, could you give me some more information on the actual date? Specifically, do you want a partnership or do you need youth? She hit me with a,
People don't think that deep though.
She hit me with a, hey, we need youth. And I said, hey, I'm trying to be more intentional with the work I'm doing. So unless we're being funded by these organizations, I'm not bringing our youth. She hit me with the, I respect you so much now. She's like, I respect you so much. And you are so inspirational because anyone would have folded just for the cosign.
And that goes into the stamp of squeezing culture without giving back to it. Like
that's who's in positions to do these things, you know? So
the vultures.
Unless we're in a position where we don't have to ask, and unless we're in a position to do stuff for ourselves, we're always gonna be like, have our hand out. And I'm not saying I'm not gonna like bite the hand that feeds me, but I want to be with someone that actually cares about the work I'm doing, cares about the youth that I'm bringing. We're not numbers, you know, we're actual people. Like, help us out.
Yeah. And that's why you got to be strong-held.
You got to stand on business.
There we go. And standing on business. Literally. You literally have to. And that's the reason why, like, money is a very important. People get the confusion of money and really don't see it as a tool because that's all it is. And it's like culture is also a tool.
100%.
People can use these things to get to certain places and not give back or not only not give back, not even look back and act like it didn't exist or they didn't get to a certain position because of this thing that people frown upon.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this thing is bad. Why you like it? Yeah, but this thing then created billions of dollars for whatever organization you got or running or blah, 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 blah. But when it comes to that, you have to be, I don't care on what scale, like you said, come with that approach of, I would love to come, I would love this. What's the budget? What can we do to actually put back in? Not no like congrats on the back or take us out for a dinner. We can do that shit on our own. What's going to hold like a statue where I'm coming from?
That's the thing. I'm learning that now because I feel like people that are doing things with such good intentions. Like when you have a type of energy that we have, you attract everybody. You attract the good, the bad, the crazies, the opportunists, the this, the that. And now it's up to us to really weed out who we want in our lives and who we want to work with. And I think it took me a while because the work I was doing is like, it's a nonprofit. I'm doing it for my bro. But guess what? I'm sitting with vultures. I'm sitting with people that are just trying to grow themselves. And I'm over here like, I'll help.
Yeah.
But that's just my
And
personality.
they squeezing, and yeah, you're giving out 10x and they're giving out 2. And you're like, bro, I'm not really
Negative
getting that.
4.
Yeah, negative 4 negatives. Yeah, that's not a.
But that's a story because guess what?
Yeah.
If I didn't go through what I've been going through, or if
There
I
we go.
didn't,
That's
like,
the tragic. That's the
100%.
unfortunate with the fortunate.
That's why when you said unfortunate, I tell people, I'm like, as much as like, this is a sad story, my brother passed away, guess what? He changed my life. And
It's that's why I don't know if you know about the butterfly effect. That's why it's so important to get up and get that daily work done. Because unfortunately, with your brother passing, now look at all the kids who are smiling, and it might seem dark, but it's not. Like, all these kids are smiling because of it, not because of this thing, but because of this thing.
yeah, because of what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because now I have all these people that are praying for my little brother, and I didn't even get into the flagship.
Yeah.
I got to get into our flagship program.
Okay.
The flagship program.
Wanna hear
is
that.
Crazy.
Okay.
But these kids are praying for my brother. They don't even know him. There's videos I've taken. I have so many videos. I'm going to show you. You can add in the clip. The kids on their own, like, let's take a picture. Like, okay, 1, 2, 3, smile for Sache.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't even know him, but like, wow.
But that's what I'm saying. That's where it's like almost that's almost like biblical,
It's crazy.
because it's like when you don't, the story of something is so powerful. It's like Muhammad or something.
Yeah.
Like, millions of people never met this person, but the message, their story. Say it again.
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So after you say the name Muhammad, you say peace be upon him.
Ah,
You say Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Add that
Okay.
in.
Okay, got you.
I need my good
Got
deeds.
you. That's fire. I appreciate that. But when it comes to that story, that's why I said story matters. That'll drive an entire
Nation.
nation to do something in a positive and a negative way.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you about the flagship program now.
Get into it.
Okay, so our flagship program was, so we started out giving like little food things to downtown, right? So now Ramadan came around. So Ramadan, we fast for 30 days, okay? So this is the first year that he passed away, and I heard about the Sadaqa Jariyah, the ongoing charity. So through the few months that like he passed away, I met so many people. So when I met some people that make food, an auntie and one of my friends that makes really good food.
Okay.
So when I got to Ramadan, I was like, let's make 30 meals for 30 days and give them to less fortunate. No one, everyone's like, what?
That's a challenge.
They say,
Yeah.
what?
That's a
We had $2,000. First of all, that's not going to last a week. Okay?
That's,
You got to buy seasoning, oil.
yeah.
Okay? So
that's yeah.
I don't know about any of that. So now 30 meals for 30 days. And that was my intention. So after the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th day of making food, I was like, not every day my brother, sometimes other people. Like, not every day. I don't want it just to be for him. And if you go to our Instagram page and you go all the way to the bottom, our first post is Smile for Sache, which is his nickname. And you swipe left and it's Smile for blank. So the whole intention from when I started this, it was never just for him. It was always going to be for other people, but that's just what we named it. But the whole thing was, this is for our future brothers, future lawyers, future doctors, future engineers. This is for us. So that was in the beginning. So now we get to the 5th day of Ramadan, and I'm like, you know what? Every day we're going to give food for someone that's passed away. Right now we're going to do every day someone that passed away from gun violence. So I found this like whole list of all these people that passed away from gun violence. And the first day I put one of my friends, Dino, Allah Cristo, he passed away. We made food for him that day. I reached out to another girl. I said, can we do it for your brother? She's like, oh my God, can I come help?
Yeah.
Boom, she comes, helps.
Yeah.
After the 3rd
That's how you
day,
grow a powerful network too.
the city of Toronto was messaging me saying, hey, can we put this person? So we went from doing 5 people on the first day first week of Ramadan to now 3 years later doing like 10 people every day. We have made over 10,000 meals. We have had over, I would even say like almost 500 volunteers this year, but as a whole, maybe like under 1,000 volunteers. So every day, we do charity or we make food for someone that's passed away, and their family comes. And then now people say we want to donate, like, and I remember I only had $2,000, right?
Yeah.
We made $21,000 the first year. The
That's
second
crazy.
year we made 38,000, and this year we made $42,000. We send money back to Senegal, Rwanda, Somalia, Kenya. We have hundreds of people coming and packaging food with us, and we're giving it out to less fortunate people or people in the mosque, people on the street. And it got to something now, it's like, like different neighborhoods. I went from first year being scared from doing 2 different neighborhoods on the same day to now saying, hey, I don't care. What's up?
Yeah. And
I'm doing something bigger than that.
That's a powerful personality because you got to kind of grow
I grew into that.
Yeah, you kind of got to grow that.
Oh, I'm scared. Second year, I was like, third year, I was like, I'm doing charity for people that passed away.
Yeah.
I think this is something that's good. So anyone that doesn't appreciate what we're doing, I can't help you, brother.
And I like that you had the that you named you gave your numbers. I think it's very powerful. People always want to go for the instant shock value or something, or like, oh, we jumped from 10,000 to 100,000. And it's like, I'd rather see the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, because the slower you burn like that, that's how you know there's repeating people coming in. And then it's just slowly building on top of that versus having this this big bubble. It's almost like a bubble. When you see something jump so big like that, a lot of those people are on the fence. They don't really care, but maybe they got moved that day.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have somebody who's going to show up. Like, I don't care. All right, I got 5 people, but they solid.
There's people that are coming. There's girls that first year I started in my house. This 30 days was in my kitchen. I was inviting random people to my house, and I'm like, God, please. Like, please don't kill me, But but I met sisters and brothers out of there. There's people that will drive to 40 minutes away. They're gonna come pick up food. They're coming back every single day, and it is for them. So now it's not from what I'm doing. They got a purpose. They're coming because they're doing charity for their aunt, their brother, their cousin. So people tell me now, you gave us an opportunity to give back. You brought our city together low key, because I don't know a lot of people. I was in and out of Columbus. I was doing this, I was doing that. So when I moved back to Toronto because my brother was there by himself, and my mom moved away. All my siblings were gone. So he's like, please, like, can you come back? And that's why I came back. So I don't know most of these people that are helping me. I've met them all recently,
When you and you guys were there by yourselves together, or is your mom there?
My mom is usually in and out of the country, but she was in the city at the time.
Oh,
okay,
so
she's usually like traveling to Africa, coming back. But that time she was actually there. We were all there together. But for the most part, it was just me and him for a little bit. Like, me and him are 8 years apart, so we kind of grew together. I was always around him. I asked him when I was younger. I was like, "Can I get a sibling on board?"
Yeah. So you guys were close.
We were close. Yeah.
Good. Oh, damn, man.
Crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. But that's why I want to I can't help but just constantly compliment. I'm an over complimenter. Like, I've always been like that. I don't really take compliments too well because I'm like, little old me, who cares?
I'll give them.
Yeah, but I like seeing stories like you guys as your team. Like, that's the stuff that, like, I'll rant about. Like, y'all are famous to me. So, like, if I see y'all on the street, I'm like, hey, oh, yeah, like, that's how I am. And I tend to move like that for a long time. So that's why when I get around, like, a certain degree of people, or that should be, I'd be like, all right, you're cool.
That's what I was talking about earlier. I was like, making giving back cool again has been so liberating, because I was telling you, I was like, we're only known for like being rappers or drug dealers, or that's what's glorified.
Entertainers,
that's what's glorified, So for people to notice me and for people to like come to be like, I love what you're doing, it hits different because
And do hit
I
different.
never ever did this for anyone to come to me. I did this because my little bro dropped out and I need to do something for him.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm
I'm excited too.
I'm excited and I'm fulfilled from this conversation.
Same.
Like that. I appreciate you giving me the insight of who you are, your motivations. Once again, it was we do get a lot of positive out of negative situations, but that's only if we decide to move forward positively.
100%.
And I just really appreciate you. I want to say thank you. Even though you're not like specifically here,
Yeah.
that mindset, it's potent. That's why I constantly say it, guys. Her and her team are very good at putting out the message, putting out you guys' story, because you don't have to.
No, you know what's crazy? Marcy Ian. She is the Minister of Women, Gender, and Equality in Toronto.
Okay.
And when I first met her, she's like, hey, if you never came outside again, if you stayed home, no one would ever fault you for it. Like you could have never came outside and we would have left you. But the fact that you're outside and you come out with a smile now, like people see me and I'm like, oh, they know my story.
Yeah.
When I see people, I'm like, oh, they know my story. But I'm still bubbly, I'm still vibrant, because at the end of the day, with all hardship comes ease. You know? So I would rather my life be like this than have a sweet white picket fence life. Like this is what life is. You know?
That's what
I
drives
can
you.
feel people's like what they've been through. Like I can relate with people now. I have more depth in life. You know, like I know that my story isn't like the most happiest, best story, but it is a real story, and like it happened for a reason. So I'm gonna carry that chip on my shoulder with the biggest smile.
Yeah. I love every minute of it. I love every minute of it. I just heard this camera die. Do me a favor real quick, Dooley. See if, because I think this battery might have died. We have to end anyway.
Okay.
So. Yeah, guys, sorry. We got multiple cameras going on. I want to make sure that they're all good. Pretty sure that battery is dead. It's still recording? It's dead? He said, yeah, it's dead.
It's dead.
That's cool. Anyways, but I want a camera on her for the
buy.
For the buy. Yeah.
And
I don't have another battery. It's all good. Big Tuck. We zoomed in on this one? We zoomed in? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe
All
just
right.
like
We zoomed in? Zoomed in? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, brother. Yes. So I just want to say again, I appreciate you. I appreciate everything that you're doing. Special shout out to your team. Everybody that you hang out with and that's what I want to mention too, is like you said, making it cool. That's what keeps the youth rocking with you. The youth want to see that you're dressing the way they kind of dress. They want to see you as them in 10 years or 15 years and be like, most people don't even know that what you do is a branch that they could do in life. They just think all I can do is play basketball. All I can do is this. All I can do is this.
Differentiating what I'm doing. I want to be able, I love basketball. I want to do this. I want to show that you could be a creative. You can do whatever you want. Like there's different avenues. You don't want to stick to just one thing, you know? So when I see these kids, I'm like, yo, you can do anything. I even tell them, I said, your big homies don't have no credit. I do. Your big homies can't get a porch off the lot. I can. You know, like that's the difference. You have to really speak to them on their type of time. Because they don't respect it if you don't have a bust down. I don't want a bust down.
Yeah, there's a difference. There's a difference of I can get it, but I don't need it.
I don't need it right now. Like anyone can get any of these things. It's all materialistic.
Yeah.
You know?
And most of the time you're trying to impress somebody who don't really care about you. Yeah. You're trying to impress strangers, bro. Yeah. And it takes a while to get, especially when you're young, that's all you really know is how do I look cool for this girl or how do I look cool for this guy, And it's like you get to a certain level and you like, man, I just want to do me and be comfortable with who I am. Yeah. And if they like me, they like me.
Yeah. And like you don't need to be liked by everyone because guess what? You don't really even like everyone.
And you'll end up with a very confused and just unfulfilled life when you're trying to just go off of other people's cups. It's like, bro, fill your own cup.
100%.
Don't worry about them.
My mom always said that. She's like, unless my home is good, I have no business going outside helping anybody else. Y'all need to be, I need to have order of court.
There we go. Order of court. Mama J. I'll mess with mom, man. I'll rock with it.
I'm gonna introduce you to her. She's
Okay. Okay. Oh, I would love to meet mom. That'd be fun. But anyways, I thank you. I appreciate you once again. I appreciate everything that you do. I'm gonna put your IG information, website, where they can donate. All of that stuff is going in here, guys. I would appreciate it if you do show some love in that area. It was one random time. I think you posted something randomly. I was up at like 2 a.m. I'm just like, I just messaged you like, man, where can I send some money?
Oh yeah, I remember. I remember it was for some books for jail.
Yeah. I'm like, where can I send some money, man? Just give me the dang address so I can send some money. But that's how you know you're really like speaking to people. This is 2 a.m.
I remember I was like, oh my God. I was like, the fact that so much is going on and it's touching so many people, the job's done.
Yeah.
I just need to keep going.
That's how you know stories be powerful. And that's how you know you're telling them in the right, you're showing them and telling them in the right way when you do get that random influx. Because it's touching people and you sleep. Yeah. And I'm up here like, oh no, I gotta send some bread. And then you wake up like, what the hell?
Literally, I was
what
like,
happened? That's what's fun about that too, is like what happened for them or that, what part touched them in this thing that we got going on. That's what's important. That's the type of important data to collect too.
100%.
It's like, what specifically, guys, tell me. I want to hear you guys' stories. What specifically touched you? Oh, I got a cousin who went through this thing, or I mentor my own boys and I take lessons from how you do with your team.
Yes.
So it's so many different avenues. That's why it's good, like you said, to spread your network and get as big as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Because then all you do is bring in more money. You bring in more
opportunities.
More opportunity. That's the biggest one. Bring in more opportunities. And then those bigger wigs up, they'll see and be like, oh, now we kind of can't ignore you.
Yeah.
We can't.
And that's the goal.
Yeah.
The goal is to have people check in. Because at this point,
there we go. Talk that talk.
You have to.
Imagine the governor have to check in. Like, y'all got to check in with us.
Because we are the story. We are the people. We are the ones doing the real work. So at what point are we going to be appreciated, for what we're doing?
Facts. Very much so. Again, thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you guys for watching again. I'm going to put all our information at the bottom. You can go to YouTube. All this stuff is going to be here, and we will catch you guys next time.
Peace.